Well, Ben White injury scare has been updated or really gotten to put in the note to us by Mikel Arteta, and even Ben White himself has gone ahead and really spoken out to the fans of Arsenal via BBC. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. We are talking Bukayo Saka coming out and really receiving his award. Remember, on Friday he was not able to take pictures with that Premier League award for the month of March. He was really away because he was really having a knock and was not at London Conley, but Mikel Arteta and Ramsdale were pictured taking that, and he has gone ahead to really take the picture with the award, and then he has gone ahead to speak to the fans of Arsenal and really thanked his fellow players. And there is something that has just broken in. Leicester City have sacked Brendan Rodgers after being beaten by Crystal Palace yesterday by 2-1, and he has been really thrown out of the club where he has spent some good years, because after the sacking of Ranieri, that's when he came into, I think it was in 2017, 2018, that's when they sacked Ranieri, and then he came in through and obviously did the needful. So it's official. Leicester City have gone ahead to issue a statement, and we are going to go ahead and really digest a little bit into that. Now, yesterday, when the game of Arsenal versus Leeds came to an end, Ben White, instead of going to really cheer up with his fellow players and really thank the fans, had to run down the tunnel, I think, to receive treatment. And Mikel Arteta was asked about that because it was an injury scare, as many people thought that what's wrong with Arsenal? Saliba injured, Tomiyasu injured, El Nini out, Saka was injured, Edin Ketia is injured, and they are really into the final bend of the season where they need to win each and every game. Very, very, very sensitive position of Ben White. It's the only right back they're having fully fit right now. So Mikel Arteta had to address the concern, and this is what he had to say about Ben White on the day. He said he had some issues as well in the last few days, but he's a big fighter and he wanted to be here. With the injury of Tomiyasu, we are short in that position, and he scored a goal as well, which is good news for him and is very good again. Now, Ben White came into this game of Leeds that he scored a goal yesterday. It was the second goal he scored in the 47th minute when he's having a knock and having some uncomfort into his certain parts of the body, but he said, I'm going to come out, do the job, and obviously find myself in a position of really winning everything as it will desired by Arsenal. And that's what the manager Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to give us a hint about the injury update of Ben White, because it was really very worrisome to Arsenal fans, because if Ben White gets an injury, then how will that Arsenal team look when they are playing Liverpool? Because Saliba is doubtful, you get, Tomiyasu is out until the end of the season. El Nini is out. So will he put Ben White to play as the right back? Sorry, Thomas Partey to play as the right back as he did in the game of Crystal Palace? Very many questions flaunted by Mikel Arteta. But Ben White looks like he's a little bit shaky. But after him running to the tunnel and I think receiving some treatment, he came back to do what we call the post-match press conference, and Ben White had the following to say: that on reacting to Man City's early kickoff, he said, I don't watch football, so I was just focused on the game today, and that was it. So that is what Ben White said about the win of Man City. Remember, Arsenal came into play when Man City had already beaten Liverpool by 4-1, and obviously he found himself in a position of really not watching the game of football, but he knew the result. Then he said there is a lot of noise going on outside and everyone is just getting on with what we are doing. I don't really know what's right or wrong. I have never been in this position of a title race before, so we are just keeping quiet, heads down and working hard. So have you heard those last 3 words? That keeping quiet, heads down and working hard. That is what Ben White really had to say, that he's keeping quiet, heads down, and they're working hard. And obviously that's the best thing to do, because this team is really one of those teams that never drops tools. However, every time they down tools, they find themselves in a position of really lifting themselves up, and they are getting goals from all different corners. Ben White scoring his second goal of the season for Arsenal is really immense, and I think those goals that he's scoring are really going to help him find himself in the England national team again, because I think he finds himself in better positions than Trent, Kylian Trippier, and and Reece James. And secondly, he's not an injury-prone player, and he's solid. You know, he's solid in the defensive area, and the offensive area is improving. That's why you see that he really finding himself in good position to score those goals. And those crosses that meet him on the back post have been really so much delivered in by the left wingers of Arsenal. That of Bournemouth delivered by Reece Nelson, and Ben White banged it in. That of Leeds yesterday, it was delivered by Martinelli, and he banged it in. So it shows you how important it is for the club of Arsenal, and how Ben White is going ahead to do the needful and really put them to where they want to be. But not all that a reason to scare you. Looks like he can manage that injury and obviously play through with it until the end of the season. Now, Mikel Arteta, asked about the City result, said we were aware as it was a huge game and we wanted to watch parts of it, but when we got here, it was just to focus on us and what we can do as a team. They are used to it. We can only control what we can do. So, obviously, I think this is like the second time or third time when Arsenal is playing after City has gone ahead to win. Pressure is always there, but Arsenal have to find means of really not getting succumbed to that pressure, and they really did it very well in a very good way and put 4 pass leads. Though the first half an hour was not all rosy for Arsenal, because Leeds was all over the place and they're really having better chances, and if at all they had killed one of those chances, maybe it would have turned into a bad game for Arsenal. But obviously Jesus just crafted out a penalty, and then he saw himself really scoring it to put Arsenal ahead in the 35th minute of the game. So that's Mikel Arteta and what he talked about his players as far as this game of City was concerned and their win against Leeds. But Ben White is okay. He's okay. Don't worry about that, because the injury scare update has been really provided to us by Mikel Arteta, the manager. Now, Bukayo Saka, having won the Premier League player of the month of March, and he never appeared on Friday because he was really away, because he was really rested and he was injured. He has come out and really said the following: happy to have won Premier League Player of the Month award. Even though I'm the one receiving it, I couldn't have done it without all the hard work from my teammates and everybody at the club. Thank you again, and let's keep going. So he just thanks everyone at the club that deserves to be thanked, because it's not only a Bukayo Saka work alone, it's a teamwork. But though he really emerged the winner as the shining hammer out of there. So to me, I believe he's really a very good player that has gone ahead to really keep consistency, and consistency in the game of football is the one that makes you world class. And to me, I believe one day, one time, he'll be referred as to a world class player, because he's tearing up the Premier League like no other. He's breaking all the cylinders. That is Bukayo Saka, and him holding the award and the placard of the EFA. That is Bukayo Saka winning, I think, his first of the season. Not so? I think he has won his first of the season. So that is Bukayo Saka for you, and I think it was good for him to be rested, because it's not always good. It's not always good to force a player in the field of players not feeling okay. So he came on through and played some 33 minutes, I think. They are good for him to be in his legs as they prepare to take on a team which goes by names of Liverpool. But Arsenal is really one of those teams that you would love to see doing its thing. And I think it's better for them to win. You know, for me, I support Manchester United, but Arsenal deserves to win it. I don't want City to win it. And secondly, I want to see efforts of Mikel Arteta are rewarded, because if we get in new managers like Mikel Arteta in the Premier League, Ten Hag, and so on and so forth, I think we are going to be getting flavor and good sporting managers who really believe in total attacking football. And when you look at Mikel Arteta, he has never gone pragmatic to beat any team. He just plays his game. Even against City, he took the ball to City, and it's Pep Guardiola this time around who was afraid of Mikel Arteta, and he played pragmatic. It shows you how good the side of Mikel Arteta is and how he really believes in his team. Amid his team having very many injuries this time around, Saliba out, Tomiyasu out, El Nini out, Eddie Nketiah out, you get close to 4-5 injuries out, and he's really trying to continue and punch through, or brave through the storm of very many people not wishing them to win the league, but they are really one of those teams that you can really reckon with to win the league. Now, a statement has been issued by by Leicester City, and Brendan Rodgers has been sacked by Leicester City. The statement reads, Leicester has reached a mutual agreement with Brendan Rodgers that will see him leave the club after 4 years. Shida Fanarabra that said the task ahead of us is our final 10 games is clear. We now need to come together. Now is the poise, quality and fight. Now, when you look at Leicester City, they're really having one of their worst seasons ever since they qualified to come to the Premier League in 2016, and they even won the league in 2016. Now, what has brought to the sacking of Brendan Rodgers? Simple. He lost to Crystal Palace yesterday and is now placed 19th. 28 games played and he's really looking bad. I mean, look at the table. He has played 28 games. He has won 7, drawn 4, lost 17. He has 25 points, and he's really having a very bad side and a very bad season of him. So they decided to really part ways with him, and as we speak, he is no longer the manager of Leicester City. But he has been here for some good time, and he has given them some memorable moments as Brendan Rodgers. But some will say they sell players and they don't replace them. You get? But if you're Leicester City, if you're to survive, you should be selling on players. And I think that team of Leicester City has gotten good players, and there might be something bad all happening into the dressing room that we don't know that has really resulted into the bad performances, because all what you see onto the pitch first orchestrates out all off of the pitch. That's it. So that is a reflection of how the players are not ready to put their bodies on the line for the manager. Something is wrong. Something's wrong at Leicester City. When you look at their lineup and their squad, they're really having a very beautiful squad. Undidi, Soumare, Telemans, Hafi Barnes, is it Tete? There is Patson Daka. Is it Ikeleche, that Nigerian left-footed striker of theirs? Ricardo Pereira. They're having good players, but I'm asking myself, what is really the problem? What is really the problem as to why they can't win the game of football? And it really narrows down to who is expected to really get this team back and running. Are they targeting what we call the new manager bounce to win the rest of the games? That is something that most of us are really waiting to see whether it will come to pass. But we are waiting to see who is going to be named as their new manager, because as it stands, things aren't all rosy for them, because they need to win close to 6 or 7 games out of the remaining games they're really having to see to it that they really find themselves in a position of winning the beautiful game of football. When you look at Leicester City, let's see the matches they are left with. There are 10 games they're left with to play. On Tuesday, they are playing Aston Villa. They have to play Bournemouth. They have to play Man City, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Leeds, Everton, Fulham, Liverpool, Newcastle, and West Ham. Now, I think the 6 games they should look at winning are Fulham, Everton, Leeds, Wolves, Bournemouth, Aston Villa. I think for they can go ahead and really win those 6 games, they can really find themselves in a position of really staying in the league, because I don't see them beating Newcastle, I don't see them beating Liverpool, I don't see them beating City. That's it. So I think that's the best thing for them to do. Let them put themselves in a position of really winning 6 out of those 10 games. I think they can find themselves at close to 31, 34 points. And I think at 34, 35, you are safe. So your reactions to Ben White injury scare are welcome in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts about Bukayo Saka and what he has said about him being crowned the Premier League player for the month of March. And lastly, what do you think about the sacking of Brendan Rodgers from Leicester City? I sign out for now. See you later. Let's meet up at United Matters channel, where I'm going to be doing United versus Newcastle, the match day live, and then the match reaction, and so much and so forth. I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim friends, Ramadan Kareem.